Don't burn me down. Don't burn me, burn me, burn me. Don't burn me down.
Hello everyone, welcome to the video. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible, considering my last one talking about stuff was like 24 minutes or something. So I'm going to try and jump straight into it. I'm essentially going to be making a little tutorial thing, which is essentially for players which are already good at the game. So like, this isn't for people who are like starting new or never touched Battlefield ever. This is for like pretty much what I surmise is my viewership, which is pretty much competitive guys. Like teammates or GB guys or like whatever, who already know how to play Battlefield and want to get better. So just to let you know, this is like advanced shit, and like I'm gonna have to be quite exhaustive with this. So like I'm gonna have to cover some things which you might be like, Jim, well, obviously I know this, but I just want to make sure it's quite exhaustive, but also like the sort of more advanced shit, which is actually to make you go from like a good player to like a really good player. So I'm not trying to be patronizing at all. Don't think I am. I'm just trying to make it like genuinely useful for good players, and hopefully this will like elevate your ability. So I'm going to go through 4 different bits. It's on my phone if you're wondering what I'm looking at. I'm going to go through general gameplay stuff to start off, then gunplay stuff, and then class role stuff, and then teamwork stuff. So let's just hop right in. So I'm not in any particular place on the shooting range, because the shooting range is pants, and I can't even select like specializations for this. So you can see like my strafing speed's like really slow, because usually I would have the strafing speed thing on the give a 1.5, but you can't even do that on the shooting range because the shooting range is whack. So I'm just gonna have to basically just do this off my own back, really. Number one, I'm just gonna have to fire through these, by the way. Sometimes you don't want to shoot things, so this might sound really like stupid, but essentially most of the time, if there's like 4 or 5 guys, I'm like either just destroying them and going for like a highlight clip, or I'm just literally going to sit in a corner and let them pass. Like if they're all coming from there and there's like 4 or 5 guys, like don't be afraid to fucking just camp it off, wait for them to go past. They start running like that, they start going past, and then you basically get like, you know, 3 or 4 kills. Like there's times where you really need to be passive and need to like let them go. And I think sometimes when there's 5 guys, I see teammates maybe like, this isn't throwing them in the bus, but I mean like sometimes, I mean everyone does it. I mean like sometimes it's better to like actually just leave them alone and let them pass than it would be to actually confront them. So that's one tip. You want to be like more patient rather than like panicky and like really edgy and stuff. Another quick one, don't panic grenade. I see a lot of people when they're in a gun fight, it's like they're shooting like this, they're probably running out of ammo, they start reloading, and then they go, oh, I need to panic grenade, and you've got your gun out your hands for that whole time, and you can't shoot back, and you're fucked basically. Like, you need to make sure you're not panic grenading, because then you basically want to be as ready as possible all the time. Like, you want to be like this. You don't want to be like fucking throwing grenades like that and shit. Like, it's just not what you want to do. Another general thing is like, some people think, I feel like that the chaos of Battlefield is actually like an advantage, and that is somehow that because there's so much shit going on, there's fucking tanks, there's planes, there's fucking like, if you're playing Conquest, there's all sorts of shit going on. It's super random, which is what I don't like Conquest, but it's so fucking random that you could basically like walk through like unharmed, or the chaos will somehow like give you an advantage to walk through. This is not the case basically. You need to essentially go through and actually try and make sense of the chaos, rather than to just think it's like a defense mechanism almost, like, you know, there's some shit going on that you could sort of just walk through. You need to actually try and make sense of it and see who's shooting who, where the enemies are, where your teammates are, you know, what's actually going on. You need to make sure you actually understand the chaos, rather than think that's some sort of like advantage for you. Next thing, this is more just a verbal thing because I can't really demonstrate on this, but by the way, as Callie told me one time, you can essentially YY, which is triangle, and when you're parachuting, and then you can basically shoot and use your gadgets. So I imagine at one point in my time in Battlefield 5, I probably will YY, get out a Panzerfaust, and beam someone with it from the parachute. Just so you know, that's a bit, I'm not sure if they're meant for that to happen, but you can parachute and use your guns basically, which is a nice little thing where if you parachute like sort of like 10 minutes into like an airborne game, and you know, you're sort of actually allowed to fly into the enemy area, you can actually sort of kill the person who's like right below you, waiting for you to land and stuff like that. It's quite a useful thing. This is the last general gameplay tip. It's actually you've probably seen me doing this, but this is really important to just always be moving and always be doing shit. Like, I've got a fucking scuff, so paddles on the back, which means I can press circle, double tap circle to slide all the time, and that's really useful for me to do that. even if I didn't have one, I'll be doing this all the time. I'll be doing this. If teammates simply see me do this all the time, I'm jumping, I'm fucking moving my head all the time, like trying to make sure you can't snipe it, doing shit like this. Like, you need to be moving literally all the time. Like, you never stay still unless you're literally taking a sniper shot, which requires it. Like, I don't really think there's any other situation. Like, even if I'm doing this, if I'm aiming somewhere, if I'm just, like watching this, I'm literally strafing back and forth like this. Obviously, it's really slow at the moment because I haven't got specialization. But like, you want to be moving all the fucking time. I'm not even kidding. Like, never stay still ever. Cool. So general gameplay stuff's done. Gunplay stuff. This is probably the most important stuff that people actually want to hear. So we're on to the good shit now. Don't reload too much. Like, you should know how many bullets you'll need to kill people with your gun. So for this gun, I know it's like basically 3 or 4, 5 at range. So it's like I know how many bullets it will take, and I know I've got 31 bullets, so I'll be doing this sort of thing. I'll be like, I'm peppering off about 3 or 4 bullets each time, and then maybe reload, even 15. Like, you probably shouldn't be reloading. I mean, this is great. This gun's great because you don't have to reload all the time. But what I see people do sometimes is like doing this, and then they'll maybe like back down, they go around the corner, and then they're sort of doing this. Like, they've got 25 bullets in the clip or something, and they're doing this, and they're sort of, again, same thing with the panic grenade thing. You're just getting the gun out of your hand. Like, you want it to be in your hand, usable all the fucking time. You never want to really take it out of your hand. You always want to have it available to you. So the same thing, don't reload too much. Don't be like, oh, they back down, and then, oh, I'm just going to reload even though I don't need to at all. Like, you should be able to know how many bullets you'll need, and therefore you can judge whether you need to reload or not. Like, I'm only probably reloading when it's like, if someone's in a good fight like that, I'm thinking about reloading now, but I still know I could get about 2 kills with this. If I don't miss any bullets, I could still get 2 kills with about 9 bullets. So try not to reach no bullets in the clip before reloading as it's slower. Yeah, that's a thank you me, thank you past me. That's a good point. But no, yeah, I'll probably better to explain here. If I reload now, that's probably quite a quick reload. If I reload like this, yeah, he has to do that extra like thing. Same thing with every gun. That was just a pistol. I didn't even know that would work, so I'm glad it did work. But no, yeah, ideally you want to get down to the lowest sort of thing when you don't really need it, and then reload, because then you only have to do this rather than doing the full. With the Gewehr, you would have to like pull that chain back at the same time. So it's just, this is, as you can tell, this is really minor shit, like reloading stuff, but you want to try and make sure you don't have 0 bullets in the clip because it's a longer reload. Same thing with stripper clips. I don't have the Gewehr 43 on me, but same sort of thing. Like, you want to always do it in 5s, so like, that's why I don't really like the Gewehr thing, and most people probably use like the extended mag specialization on this to get rid of this issue entirely. But same thing with stripper clips. Like, you want to make sure you're reloading as efficiently as possible. So like, you know, sometimes you'd have 5 bullets in the thing, and then you need to, and that's fine. You can get the strip clip and put 5 in, or you would have like 4 in. You put a strip clip in, and then I'd like YY to make sure I have my gun back in my hands, and have 9 bullets in instead of 10. Like, you don't always need to get to the max. You just need to make sure that you like play what the gun wants you to do, if that makes sense. So yeah, a lot of people will probably know that from basic stuff or from Battlefield like 1 with like the auto loading 8.35 or something, but you get my point. It's just being efficient with your reloads. Another gunplay thing is always look for the second kill. So like, what I see people do a lot of the time is, especially when reviving actually, they sort of get a kill and then they'll get a kill there, and then they'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna carry on as normal, instead of what you should probably be doing, which is like get a kill and then like, oh, I'm expecting someone to push me there because they might have heard me, or like something like that, or someone got a kill there but I know shit was going on over here, so I'm going to aim over there next. Like, you need to be looking for that second kill all the time. Don't just be complacent with, oh, I got a kill, cool. Especially when reviving someone. If someone dies like that, my teammate's dead there and he shot from over there, I'm not going to be just like, cool, reload, revive. Like, you need to be like, oh shit, there's probably going to be someone there on the head glitch waiting for me, like baiting the team out. You've got to be looking for that second kill all the time. I'm also running out of bullets, so I'm just going to go quickly to get some. I don't even know where these things are. There's barely any on the map. Anyway, more kills happen when you order the kills and break the setup. Yeah. If you watch me streaming, which I hope you do, if you don't, then follow me on Twitch. Link will be in the description. Then I actually get quite a lot of multi-kills. Helps having a gun with 31 bullets in, which is a lot of damage. Which has a lot of damage, but like, it's also because like, I basically, when I see a bunch of people, like, it's the same thing with letting them go past. Like, you've got to think of it as like a setup. Like, you've got to think of the domino effect of what you're trying to do. So like, you know, you let everyone pass, then you shoot the guy in the back first, the easiest kill, and you sort of go through that way. It's the whole setup thing. It's way more easy to explain with like a with like a competitive thing, like with like a 5-man team rather than a full team. Because obviously in a big man team, it'd be like multiple setups going on where people are watching other people and reacting off what's going on. But my point is that you need to make sure you like you know what sort of things are going on in terms of who's watching who. And you need to make sure you kill the right person at the right time in the right order. That's how you get more skills, basically. Like, again, I can't really... I would like to demonstrate a lot, but if you sort of watch me playing, you want to get a kill, look for the second kill, but then think, oh, is that first kill the first guy coming, or is it the last guy, or, you know, is the rest of the team over there, is the rest of the team over there? Like, multi-kills, there's a lot of things going into it, but I think one of the main things is ordering your kills rather than just getting the easiest kill, or you know, the one that's best fits your gun. Like, you need to make sure you get them in the right order to get a multi-kill. That wasn't very well explained, but I would like to demonstrate, but I can't. Okay, multi-kill, blah, blah, blah. Pre-aim and pre-fire. This is probably the best thing, honestly. This sounds so fucking obvious, and people don't do it. People are really impatient, especially competitive guys. Really impatient. You need to pre-aim and pre-fire things all the time. This guy's there, I'm pre-aiming this shit. I'm getting some crazy auto-aim, by the way. I'm just straight for my left stick because of this fucking, like, angle practice thing. But you need to be constantly fucking, like, pre-aiming shit, expecting things to go on. And this is just, like, a game sense thing. Like, I can't really teach that stuff. I think a lot of people that watch this probably have already got it. Like, sort of awareness of what is going on, and then you can sort of expect enemies to come a certain way. But, like, don't be like this. Don't be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, you need to limit the amount of shit you have to do. Make it easy on yourself, like, all the time. Like, there's no shame in fucking pre-aiming this. And then if you know they're coming, just fucking be like that. And people run into this all the time. Like, I'm surprised. Like, if you played him against if you played against me in BF1, you'll know I'm really annoying with the Hellregal, because I'll just pre-fire you. I'll happily pre-fire you. Pre-fire your doorway with 60 Hellregal bullets. Like, that's easy for me. Like, that's making it really easy on me, because I know that you're probably a little bit weak. If I know you're coming in that doorway, then you know you've got a very little chance of winning that gunfight if I'm just spraying at you with a submachine gun. It's the same sort of thing. You just got to make sure you pre-aim, pre-fire all the time. Like, slow it down, expect things all the time, like that kind of thing. Instead of just being like, I'm impatient, just want kills. I just want to be reactionary to kills. Like, a lot of good players, again, who probably when we watch this, probably could easily get a lot of kills by just doing this, and then, oh, they see enemy, I'm just going to react to it. Instead of being like what you should be doing, which is, okay, I can hear them, or like something like that, and then killing them. Like, they could probably kill them anyway, but against good players, you need to make sure you preemptively guess where they're coming from, and pre-aim and pre-fire and stuff. That's probably a super... If you start doing that, then a lot of other things will fall into place, in my opinion. A lot of other things. Because you'll just slow your gameplay down, basically. And this is from someone who doesn't play slow, so yeah. Strafe specialization, aim down the sights, don't move. Oh yeah, this is also a very good aim thing. I assume some guys know about this at this point, but I'm just gonna reveal it anyway. Strafing stuff. Instead of like moving your ass, this is me moving my left stick only. Like, my sight is staying the same at the same rate. When people are running diagonally and stuff, like, this is way easier just strafing than it would be if I stayed still and just moved my right stick. Like, that's hard. That's way harder than if I was just moving my left stick. That's so easy. I could just be like, yeah, la 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 la, not giving a shit. Like, the strafing with the left stick and not touching the right stick at all when people are like running sideways and you're trying to shoot them is like really easy. Like, really easy. So if you're that guy who like sees someone running and then you stay still and go la 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 with your right stick, don't do that. Use your left stick strafe. Even easy when you've got the specialization, which again I don't have. Scopes see better in storms and a best sight overall due to longer engagement distances and higher TT again. Yes, I actually had a discussion with Weber about this in terms of being sort of like nicked from long range. Like, this game's obviously got like a shorter TTK, sort of like I feel like it's got like a longer average engagement range. So you can't really afford to ignore people in the long range vicinity anymore. Like, you probably could in Battlefield 1, you could probably be like, you know, you could be like, oh, I might take a sniper hit, but I'll regen, I don't need a health pack, blah blah blah. You know, they're probably not going to headshot me. I'm probably not in their sweet spot range because they all use Russians or something, like, right? So you could probably afford to not do it anymore, but I feel like you need to sort of be aware of people in the long range positions. And scope like this is just way easier to, like, if there's a storm, sandstorm, or snowstorm, then great, you can see through it because it's super clear through the scope. So you can, I basically just walk around in snowstorms like this, for real. Like, if I need to get kills, I'd be like, I can see you and you can't see me. That's easy. And just because it's just easy. It's just way easier. I don't like the red dot size personally, but I think this like increased zoom is enough of a zoom to be sort of normal and usable. And again, it's the same sort of thing. Like, if you are going to buy into this whole like pre-aiming and pre-firing thing, then you've basically got to slow down and aim in anyway. So if you're going to do that, you might as well get the best scope for it, and it's going to be this one. This sort of like medium range one. Blah 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 blah. More accurate when crouching. That's just, I don't really need to explain that. Sometimes it's better to actually, if there's someone walking past, sort of do it with the strafe thing. Instead of using your right stick like that, actually just crouch and fucking strafe. Look how slow I'm going now. This is really good for scouts at long distances, crouching and strafing at the same time. That's pretty obvious, but sometimes people don't bother to do it because they probably think they're going to get the kill anyway. But if you want to make it really sure that you're going to get the kill, then crouch as well. It's actually really easy. Super easy just to crouch for a sec. Centering, this is one of the things which makes people good at sniping or quickscoping, which I do fairly often. You can tell I'm from card, but is this centering thing. When you see an enemy, you want to center all the time. Like if I expect people to come around this corner here, like where this barrel is, I'm not running up to it like this and then going, oh, I'll snap on you, reacting. I'm literally centering. It's all about, I'm literally doing this. I'm probably doing something like this. Just slowly edging the angle closer, 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 closer. So like the centering thing's already done for me. Like I'm just making it easy for myself because when he comes around that corner, I can just be like, boom, quick scope, like that. And, instead of being like, oh, la la la, and then I can all like snapping left to right and then aiming in and then shooting. You've got 3 things to do. When you do this, then you've only got 2 things to do. And if you were doing this, then you've only got 1 thing to do, and that's going to be shooting. So you just got to limit the amount of things you've got to do to get a kill all the time. That might sound really obvious, but people don't do it. People are just lazy when they do this sort of stuff. They're not going to center around corners all the time. As you can see, I'm sort of like going in and out of sprinting to sort of get my gun ready for the maximum amount of time possible while still making ground. That's what I'm doing there. So yeah, that's what that is. Moving on to class roles, I'm going to try and hurry this up a little bit because it's probably going on for a bit too long. Medics. Yeah, if you're reviving, you need to use the kill feed. And if you don't have the kill feed on, then I don't know what to say. I assume you do. You need the kill feed on. And if you don't, then I don't know what to say. This is to see who's dead, as in who's killed the person that you're trying to revive, and then if he's dead so you can revive him. That kind of thing. You know, if you could see what enemies he was around and see if they're dead as well, if they're still alive, then you've got to use the kill feed as information. I mean, everything's information, obviously. But I feel as a medic, you've got to really be like, okay, your teammate's dead. Don't look at the fact he's dead. Look at the fact who killed him and with what gun as well, because that'll sort of tell you what sort of range they're working at as well. And then use that to sort of make a judgment if they're dead or not, and then if you can revive them or not. You can also actually switch squads to get revived. Little fun tip. So if you're dead on the ground and you see a bunch of blueberries around you, if you really want to get revived, and you're on a streak and doing a bullshit assignment where you have to do some stuff in one life and you need to get revived, you can actually switch squads into that squad and get revived from the people in that squad there. They're now your new squad mates. So yeah. Yeah, another class role thing for the medic is like healing at the right time. I could probably break this down to a lot of videos, but that's what I mean. It's like a one-stop shop thing, but bullshit. You need to heal at the right time. So if you're getting shot at, sometimes people will heal too early, and then they'll get shot once more, and then that shot will like cancel the regen essentially of that health pack. Like you need to make sure that you like get out of the way before you hit the regen. There's no point if you're getting shot, especially with like a fully automatic weapon, and they can just pepper you with like a 14 damage machine gun shot, and then hitting the revive button, and then they shoot you again and completely cancel off that healing mechanic. Like you've got to wait until you're out of combat behind cover, and then start reviving. Press the obviously top D-pad. You just got to time it right, basically. Like sometimes you've got to accept that you're dead and not bother reviving, and sometimes you've got to basically get out of the way and then start reviving and then recharge. You can also heal to stop incendiary things. I found that out one time. So that's a little thing. If you're burning to death, then you can heal, and that will just instantly stop the fire. Obviously, it'll use your entire health back, but it's quite useful if you're about to die. So it is worth to use it then in that situation specifically. But apart from that, you need to wait until you're out of combat, basically. And this is more directed as maybe to Dom specifically, my team leader guy, but you need to hold on to your revives and like try not to be impatient, because teammates a lot of the time will actually get you for like a slither left. That happens to me quite a lot. I mean, my teammates do a great job of reviving me, but I mean like a lot of the time I'm holding on for ages and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to get revived, and then eventually get revived. I think being patient and doing that like that is actually quite worth it. And obviously for the revive you need to use like smoke and that kind of shit. That's pretty obvious at this point, but just wanted to make sure I cover it. You smoke is your best friend as a medic. You should have the smoke grenade on you. You should be able to use that all the time. So yeah. On to the last one, teamwork. We only got 3 points here, so bear with. always make someone weak if you can, and make it like specifically for the purpose of helping your teammate. So like, even if you know you're gonna die, like you need to be able to take as many guys down with you, pretty much as much as possible. This is like a more of a COD term, but you basically want to trade out as much as possible. Sometimes you might want to bait for a teammate and get a few guys weak. This happened quite a lot on B flag on Suez, if I remember correctly, on BF1, when we scrimmed people. Is essentially me or some other submachine gun player in B flag would essentially bait for the other person, and I would come flying around the corner and start shooting crazily, and there'd be two guys, and I would get one and then make the other one half health, and that would essentially make the teammate's job really easy, because they could just go around the corner and basically, you know, pre-fire Hellregal. The guy's half health, like he has no time to regen. If you time it properly and that kind of stuff, then you can really help your teammates out, and you need to make sure you always make them weak if you can. And say how much health he's got. The callout's obviously a bit of a separate improvement thing, and I'm not going to go into that, but you know, you need to basically say half health, like kill him, trade him, go for the trade. I made him weak for you. Like that's the point of that, is to make sure you win the trades. 2-on-2, you win. So yeah. So second to last one, callouts should be where they are and what health they're on in that order. Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, already kind of covered some of that, but the callouts should be in the order of where they are and then what health they have. That's all you really need to do, is like specific information, because the teammate can see who it is. Maybe if they know that person really well, like some players I know what they do, like I know their tendencies. Most of the Finnish guys, because we play them far too much, but I know what they're going to do, essentially. So I can use that stuff from the kill tree, but you need to tell the guy what I don't know, which is specifically where he is. Callie's really good at callouts for our team. He'll tell me exactly where he is, and then hopefully he'll say his health as well. You could just say weak or something, but ideally you want to say like, you know, 50 health, 75 health, you know, really weak one shot, like that kind of thing. You want to sort of give me a gauge to see how much I can afford, to see if I need to prioritize him or not. Because sometimes if someone's on really low health, then I might prioritize killing the guy who's next to him with 100 health instead, because I know I'll be able to two-piece that guy really quickly, instead of, you know, going for the really weak guy and then the full health guy shooting me and then I can't get back to kill him as well, if that makes sense. That's the same sort of thing with ordering, but therefore it's based on the teammate's information that he gives you. That's really important. So he needs to give you in that order. Last one to finish the video off is stay alive for teammates to spawn on you, because it's really important to avoid shitty random spawns. This is more of like a pub thing really, but like if you're last alive, it does tell you in the game, but like you really do need to do it, because the random spawns are so shit. You really need to actually be like, you need to tell your teammate, you need to remind your teammate obviously, but like that teammate also needs to just have the knowledge to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking, I'm just gonna sit in a corner and camp just to stay alive, because that is super important. It's more important than it was in BF1. Smaller squads, shittier random spawns, longer distances to cover. You know, it's really important. It's more important than it was in BF1, so I thought I'd mention that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or anything that I explained really badly or want to roast me about, because I probably explained something really badly at one point. I feel like the ordering killing thing was very, very badly explained, but hopefully you might see that in a few clips if you follow me on Twitch in the description. But yeah, hopefully that was useful to people who are already good at Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, and want to get better. Hope I wasn't waffling too much. It's probably gone on for way too long, but either way, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next videos, which are going to come soon. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Sayonara.